Welcome to the Transfer Exchange Show. We are live on KS1 TV, and yes, people, it's time. This is the preview of the last of the Euro 2020 semi-finals between Denmark and, yes, we're saying it, England. We got there. We got there at last. The Vikings are coming. My nerves are shot, and I'm just surprised at the moment that I'm even talking and it's making any kind of sense. So that's how nervous I am. The teams are in. But first, Nathan.
How's it going?
How you doing, mate?
Good, thanks. All good.
Good stuff. Let's get into this. Let's read out these team news. Let's get this. Someone.
Hey, Jim.
Jim.
Yes, boys.
Hello, Jim. Let's just before we read the team news, just even this up a bit.
There we go.
There you go. All nice and together. Right, Jim. We're just about to. How are you doing, first, mate? You're okay?
Yeah, I'm good, mate.
All good, thanks. Yeah, all good, Jim. Good to see you.
Right, we're just about to read the team news, Jim. In goal for England tonight, Jordan Pickford having a great tournament so far. At the back, no change at all at the back. Walker, Stones, Maguire and Shaw. In the midfield, again, no change. Phillips and Rice. In front of him, few disappointment with some people. Didn't know if he was going to play tonight. Some didn't want him. Some would prefer other players. Mason Mount. One change tonight, and that's Saka comes back in for Jadon Sancho. Sterling keeps his place on the left after all the goals he scored. I suppose you can't really drop him. And up front, obviously, the main man, that's Harry Kane. We're quickly going to go through the Denmark side. In goal, Peter Schmeichel. At the back,
Peter
Schmeichel, yeah. Who plays for the Slovakia. It's a private joke, Jim. You go back another show, you'll get that. And then, Vestergaard, Southampton, and then the hero of Denmark, Kajsa, who acted fantastically. When Christian Eriksen had his had their problem. Christensen of Chelsea. We've got the fantastic Mahel of Atalanta on the left for Denmark. Then Striger, Udinese on the right. In the middle, we've got Delaney of Dortmund, Højbjerg of Tottenham. Up front, we've got Damsgaard of Sampdoria, Dolberg of Nice, and obviously Martin Braithwaite there of Barcelona. Strong team from Denmark. Look, we'll get into this. Jim, Thanks for joining us, mate. I'll come to you first, Jim. What's your thoughts?
Team's almost as expected, to be honest with you. I think the back four, the holding two, Sterling and Kane are kind of the regulars. I think you can kind of throw a coin in the air for the others. They're all as good as each other, and he likes Mount, but he's also experimented with everyone else in there, and so he's got a lot of wealth, good talent on the bench that he can bring on, and it's a good side, good squad, a good squad of players, and very, very hard to beat England right now, and that's the most important thing. And I think that's what he's built it on right from day one. Very hard to beat, and even though it wasn't great the early stages of the competition, they've been absolutely magnificent since. So very hard to beat, and I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, happy with Saka instead of Sancho?
Like I say, he could pick either or. He's obviously got or seen something in training or knows what he's after in defence to counter it. And Saka's had a fantastic season. I mean, so is Sancho. I mean, so is Foden. It's ridiculous. So is Grealish. They've all been fantastic, and it's just whatever he feels is going to win the game. And if it doesn't go to plan, he's got them to bring on. And Sancho, amongst the others as well, can change the game quite quickly. So, either or. I think he's been torn in that position as to who he picks.
Yeah. Plenty of opportunity on the bench, and we can always go to someone. There's plenty of talent there who game changers. Nathan, something that you wasn't too happy about in the last game against Ukraine was the fact that Mason Mount was in there. He's in there again. Saka's starting. What do you think of the team, and what do you think about Mount?
No, I think it's a good side. It's a good side. In terms of not being too happy about Mason Mount, maybe that's the wrong wording, but I think it would be more down the lines of I would have liked to see someone with a bit more attacking ability about him. I know we've got players like that. Like I said, we got Grealish. I'd like to see Grealish in there rather than Mount because that's the attacking side. But I think what the manager's gone and done there is he's just looking to make sure nothing happens defensively, no goals go in, and Mason Mount, he seems to be able to have the other side in it, so he has the attacking and the defending. But I don't think you need to have all of that when you're playing with Rice and Phillips sitting there. I'd like to see him go a bit more attacking because Denmark are not a bad side. They're looking very good. They've done well to get this far, and they don't get this far without being good, and they got a lot of dangerous players in there. And I don't like Jim said there, Sancho, Saka, both doing as well as each other. So I don't mind. When I seen Saka there, I loved his last performance. Where Grealish and him was killing it. So it's not a surprise that he's back there on the right. So I love that. I just think we need one more player that's more attacking. So I won't be surprised if he brings on Grealish half time or second half some point, to try and make something happen after they're a bit more tired. Maybe that's what he's trying to do. Keep it tight, and then if we can get a goal, great. If not, we'll bring on the bigger guns afterwards. That's probably what I'm seeing happening here. Yeah,
important for sure to still get down that left flank, Nathan.
100%. He has to do that. Sterling has to just continue doing what he's doing, and sure, he's just playing unbelievable football at the moment. This is what we all knew he could get to at the highest level. Consistency of playing every game. Now he's got the fitness behind him and he's making all the right decisions. So I'm loving what I'm seeing from Luke Shaw. Obviously, hopefully that continues next season at United.
One other thing, Nathan, a few people were saying that you can't play Saka and Sterling at the same time. It's too awkward. Can you see a reason why that can't happen?
Never ever thought of that in my life. That's never even come into my mind. Saka's a winger on one side, Sancho plays on the other. Sterling plays on the other side. They both can get on it and run it. Yeah, they both can get in behind. It's great to have players like that on both sides of the pitch. So how can they not play in the same team? That don't make no sense to me.
Yeah, cool.
Jim, what do you think of that?
Yeah, I can't get that either. They're both
a strange
wingers.
One.
Yeah, no idea. Can't work that one out, I'm afraid.
No. Well, Jim, what about the Denmark side? I mean, they've got some players on, that can do some damage tonight. I mean, where can they hurt us? I mean, who are their danger men?
To be honest, I think team morale. I think the way they started with Eriksen in that game, and how it came about on the pitch. The team morale right now, if they need anything to focus on, is what happened on the pitch, and that togetherness and everything else that goes with it has been their glue, if it makes sense, and that's what's kept them going. It's almost like let's do it for Eriksen, and that is massive. So I know that I don't. For me, they're not as dangerous as England, but as a team and a willingness to move on, and even as a neutral watching this game, they'll want Denmark to do well because of the fact of what happened to Eriksen in that game, and to move on. So that togetherness is the hardest thing that England are going to face. To be honest, more than anything else, when a team are together, they're very, very hard to beat, and so that will drive them on. However, I do think defensively England are very solid, and what Nathan said earlier about Mount in there, it's more of a safety, but he can do both, go forward and come back. And I think he's going to start with that defensively before bringing on maybe some of the big guns or things to change it up. But Denmark are on a roll of being together.
Yeah. Is when teams play England, Jim, I mean, you're a Northern Ireland international, so you might be able to answer this better than anybody. Do teams want it more? Do you feel that they want to beat them more than when they play other teams?
Because it's England.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you saw that with Scotland. Scotland, how well they did against them. England should have beaten them, but they raised the game. I find this as well when you play the likes of Man United or the Man Cities, when you come against the lower league clubs, they find something else. It's like, well, hang on a minute, you don't play that week in, week out. But all of a sudden, there's these teams that are on fire, and you think, what's happening here? So they do raise the game, and yes, it's England, and the more that England get into these semi-finals and the higher ranking that they become, every team that starts to play them will think we need to do well against these, and yes, you find other things, and it was interesting watching Schmeichel earlier on talking about it's coming home, and he's questioned, and that'll be a reason, for anyone's not seen it. He was saying it's never been at home.
My question around, actually, I was basing the question around his attitude to that question.
Yeah, and if anything, in the dressing room, let's shut these up. Let's shut England up.
Exactly.
And let's coming home. Let's start. And even that's a great motivation as a team.
Yeah.
Exactly. Who else has that though? No one else really has that. Where they say it's coming home, guys. It's coming home. Everyone keeps saying it because they think we're going to win it. So
I mean, it was great, wasn't it? Where he come back and said, "Why has it ever come home?" He looks a bit annoyed by it, and I can imagine in a dressing room the other opposition side going, we'll give them it's coming home, So it might be from the detriment, all this coming homes chanting that everybody seems to be doing. Nathan, semi-final. Is this going to be the toughest game so far?
Yes, definitely is for me. Braithwaite one side, Dolberg in the middle, who's been doing well up front, and then Damsgaard on the other side of the three. That's a strong, potent attack. They move the ball well. They're technically gifted players, and they're showing obviously that they can beat people, and that's why they're in the semi-finals right now. So, we can't look at them and think we're through to the next round already. That would be a biggest mistake ever. England, of all teams, we know we can't look at any team and think that there'll be a walkover. So, I'm sure they won't be thinking like that. I just see it being a very tight game today. I can't see England running away with this. And like I said, I've always said I'd like to play a team a little bit more expansive with the two sitting, and then go with the rest a bit more expansive, with a bit more about them on the ball. I just love what Grealish does. He brings people in and he takes you on, and he invites you in, and then you've beaten them, you cause an overload. But I think the other players, they're more of pass and move, the mounts and stuff like that. So it's harder to kind of make them openings. But Saka's on one side, he will do that himself. And I hope Sterling again, he's not the runner anymore, like runner on the ball as much. He's more pop it and then see you later and then give me it back. And so if we can get someone to find him, great. I think we should be able to do that a few times, where we should be able to get a goal. But are we doing predictions yet or what?
Yeah, well, just very, very soon. I mean, we was just talking about, putting their foot in it, and Kieran's just put his foot right in it by saying that I'm not ready to make any score predictions. Well, now we want a score prediction off you, Kieran. So if you're still there, mate, score prediction, please. So, but score predictions. Jim, how do you think the game will go?
I do think England will win it, and I'm going to go with 2-0 goals really late on.
Who's for the score, Jim?
To England. I'm going Sterling. I'm probably going to go Sterling and Kane.
Sterling and Kane. Nathan, how's it going to go?
It's going to be a tight one.
Is it coming home?
It's going to be a tight one. Well, this game might be coming home, I think. I think it's going to be a really tight one, and it's going to end 2-1. I think we might concede a goal, but we'll get the 2-1 late on. Just as Jim thinks we're going to win late on, I think we're going to get the last goal late on. It may even be in extra time before penalties. Hopefully not go to penalties. I don't want to see penalties at all.
No.
But I got a feeling it's going to go late on, either extra time or right in the last minutes. And I've got Harry Kane getting his goals. maybe, you know what? Something in my head said Mason Mount. For some reason, in my head, I'm thinking Mason Mount and Harry Kane. So I'm going to go with that. And hopefully Mason Mount's going to score today. And this will be his reason why he's been put in the side all the time. And but I do think when Grealish comes on, there'll be a difference to the game as well. I hope Grealish comes on. So,
yeah,
you know.
yeah. I think it's going to be really tough. I think it's going to be our toughest game so far, even tougher. I think they're going to test us more than the Germans will. I think they've got the three players up front very quick, and one thing that Germany's forwards didn't have that Denmark's had is that Denmark's centre forwards at the moment are on it. You know, they're all playing well, and you know, Germany's, when we played them, they wasn't going through a good time even before the tournament started. Muller wasn't scoring. Werner's, we've seen him in the Premiership, he hasn't been great. So I think this is going to be the toughest one so far. I don't think it's going to be high scoring. I think this could go all the way. I think it could go to extra time. I hope it don't go into penalties. I think it could be 1-1, and I think I'm going to say England are going to nick it in extra time. Yeah. But I think this is definitely going to be our the closest game so far.
We've got Dolberg getting the other goal as well, by the way.
No.
Yeah, again, as I say, he's a fantastic player. He's on form. So, yeah, I think it would be his fourth goal in 4 games if he scored tonight. So he's someone they're going to have to watch. He's a dangerous player. Let's have a look at a few comments. Kieran there, Lee said that England are going to win 2-0. So we'll see about that, Lee. Kieran's still not ready to make any predictions. He's really sitting on the fence, isn't he? Adam says it's going to be 2-0 for both by Kane. Well, he's on form, so you never know. Kieran's number 1. I think I'll check. Not too sure what that means. And I think that's it. And Adam Wade actually sod it 5-0 to Kane. He's changed his tune there.
Why not?
Well, look, you know, it's going to be a very, 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 very tough, hard game. I think that, you know, the nerves are going to be jangling. But you know, let's hope we can, you know, come out with it with a win, and we'll be back here at 10 o'clock celebrating a final place at Wembley against the Italians, which will be absolutely amazing. You know, to play against probably the best team in the tournament at the moment. So until then, look, peace out, stay safe, and all you England fans out there, just pray, please.
See you soon.
Thanks, boys.